It's your boy Gackt Cognac back with another video. Y'all already know I went to Japan, been to Osaka, Kyoto, and lastly Tokyo. Been game hunting, eating, y'all already know from the other channel, so I'm going to highlight all the gaming related stuff in this channel. So stay tuned and get ready. First game store I went to was in Osaka. It was called Ojamaten Gamo store in the Gamo district of Osaka. Anyway, so the store is gonna have all your new gen stuff like Switch. That's obviously the new fad for everyone over there. People are always on the move, so they're gonna be playing like some handheld and stuff. So anyways, you're gonna notice a lot of stuff that are like big box collector's editions, man. They're like extra cheap. Not these in particular, but like on most of the stores I went to, there were like some big box stuff. They were hella cheap. And I gotta say, that's probably because like space is an issue out there. Everything is like in Manhattan where you're getting like, you know, super small apartment buildings and stuff like that. So people are not trying to waste hella space buying big box items. Anyways, this store was crowded with items. It was a small store. I found myself like, man, didn't even want to go through some of the aisles because they were so freaking just jam-packed and narrow. A lot of your loose items in these stores are gonna be super cheap. They do not like their loose item stuff. Like they like Asian owned, man. They like everything CIB, just like normal collectors out here, you know. So those are gonna be super discounted. So if you guys want some stuff that's loose in Japanese, you can get those for like dollars, man. Pennies off the dollar sometimes. Anyways, you're gonna have a lot of handheld stuff, like I said. So look at these narrow ass freaking aisles, man. I could barely walk through them. But got a lot of your consoles and stuff like that in there. And you know, in normal Japanese fashion, they're gonna have those like plastic sealed baggies just hanging on the wall for all their loose carts and stuff. Anyway, so for as far as like consoles and stuff like that, that stuff is starting to be up there. They're all in like good condition and all, but like the cat's out the bag, man. Everything is expensive nowadays. So next up, we went right down the street to Joshin Gamo shop, and this is like literally like a block away from the other store. So this is more like kind of what you would call like a Fry's Electronics or something like that. They got like all types of electronic stuff in the store, but they do have their game section. So of course I'm gonna go there and check out the game section. Amiibos over there, they have a bunch of those, and they're mostly for like, let's see, like 2,000 yen roughly, which is gonna come to like 15 bucks. Saw some pretty good ones, but I'm not an Amiibo type of dude, so I wasn't gonna pick none of that up. But I'm not sure if they're the same as like the US versions, you know, like do they count as a US version, or they're like, you know, region free? I can't tell you that. I'm not really into Amiibos. But anyways, here's some more of the big box stuff, and these are a little bit up there because they're newer. And I found that this store just carried mostly just newer games, mostly, or newer gen games, so I didn't buy anything. Next off went the Book Off Plus. This was in Dotonbori, Osaka. And this place has like a little bit of everything too. Like in the US, it's just like a bookstore that has games and, you know, CDs and stuff. This one has like figures up in there. It's a more bigger store. It's a plus store, so you get a lot more items. Has collectibles, Pokemon cards, you name it, they got it. They even got like Gundam models you could build, all that stuff. But basically, I'm here mainly for the game, so you're gonna have a lot more of the newer titles as well here. They do have some stuff that people trade in because it is like a kind of a GameStop. You can trade a lot of your items in, game related wise. So yeah, I saw some pretty good stuff over there, some good collector edition consoles and all that. But since I was up in Osaka, I didn't want to carry a lot of stuff back because we had to take a train all the way back to Tokyo afterwards. So I didn't really buy much in Osaka per se. But they do have used games over there as well, like Vita games, PSP. You're gonna see a lot of, man, because people over there are still playing PS Vita. Like I'll be sitting on the bullet train and stuff like that, and you'll see somebody just whip out a Vita and just play while they're on their commute. So it's pretty cool to see that, man. And the Vita games are extra cheap. If you could read Japanese, man, like you get Vita games for like $5 a pop. That's crazy, man. Like you in the US, Vita games are like, man, hard to come by. At the same time, people are taxing for it. So you can have your like good selection of everything up in there. But like I said, the prices can be a little bit more expensive for the games. Because now that Japan's opened up its borders and letting everybody come in and stuff, like all the foreigners are coming in and just like spending money. So they know, man. It's like they're not stupid. They know people are coming through and buying games and all that stuff. They're watching people's YouTube and stuff like that too. So like you're gonna hardly find a really good deal unless you go out there into like maybe the countryside or secret spots people don't know about. But yeah, man, like I still found some pretty good stuff because like if you're just diligent and you looked, you'll probably still find some good places. And at the same time, man, you know, it's my first time going out there. I didn't get to check out all the stores I wanted to check out, man. There was like so many game stores that I missed, and I'm just like, damn, man, I should have made a list, but I wasn't really thinking about that. So at the same time, y'all already know I'd be trying to do my food channel and stuff like that. So like it's hard to get a balance between the two. But anyways, video footage right now is just me going to some of the like the gacha stores and the crane game stores and stuff like that. If you've seen one, you've seen all basically. Like there's a ton of these title stations, round one, you name it out there they have. Like almost every block has some of these crane game stores, arcade stores, like win a freaking figure and all that stuff out there is like super popular. It's like basically their way of gambling because gambling is illegal out in Japan. So the only way you're going to be able to play that is gamble for some items or go to the pachinko store and, you know, play that, which is another form of slot machine out there, except you don't really win money for it. You win prizes, but if you're slick, you take the prizes somewhere and get a cash out for the money. That's always been an old trick out there in Japan. Anyways, so yeah, we went out there. We're out in Osaka, Dotonbori district, and basically you name it, man, we've done. It was super packed the round one over there though, so we didn't really go and play. Like I said, if you went to one, you went to all. So it's like no difference if you went to the one in Osaka, then you went to the one all over spread across Tokyo. You're gonna see the same stuff. The only thing is, for me, I really wanted a certain figure, and y'all know I'm a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, so there was a certain figure that I really wanted, and it was actually the Toguro figure, and that's one of the villains right here in Yu Yu Hakusho, one of my favorite villain characters in anime history. And so I wanted to get this item, and I was like, oh, I'm coming back after dinner for this. And you know what? Like, I came back like the next day, and that shit was gone. Like, there was only 3 left, and I was like, man, nobody wants that character. He's not even that popular. Nope, it was gone, man. So I had to like go all over the place trying to look for it. Could not find it for nothing. It wasn't even until I got to like Tokyo, we looked all over the place, and we finally found one at some random game store. It was like unknown, man. So yeah, I spent like maybe $15 trying to get that item, but I got it, man. And I got a couple other items as well. You'll see that actually on my pickup video I'll put out after this video. So make sure you stay tuned for that, because that's gonna have all of the pickups that I picked up and then some. Anyway, so for these arcade places, man, some of these arcades, man, they go up to like 8 levels. It's crazy. And all these range from like arcades to photo booths to bowling to crane games and all that stuff. Anyways, now we're finally up in Tokyo, and you know, we were gonna spend the whole week in Tokyo, more like 10 days up in Tokyo, because Tokyo's so big, man. It's a big old city, and there's so many districts to cover. You gotta stay at least a week out here to actually like even explore a good amount of stuff. So check it out. This is supposed to be like a bar right here. Kind of reminds me of like Parasite Eve, man. It was pretty funny. Anyways, first game store we went to out here was like a random store that's outside. Is just like a computer store, right, on the first floor. And then second floor is where they have the game shop. So upstairs you go up, there's like one floor. It says first floor and second floor game, but the first floor is where they like hold all the games that you want to buy. So what you do is you pick out the games upstairs on the second floor, you bring it downstairs and they'll grab it and then, you know, purchase it. So this store, we didn't spend too much time up in there because it wasn't a big store, and it had mostly like your current gen stuff. It only had like a few, maybe like Vita, Wii, DS games and all that, but nothing really in particular that I wanted. So I didn't stay in there long, man. Only thing I got from there was like maybe a few Wiimotes or something like that I saw was pretty cheap. And next day we went over to Lick Her Off. Nah, right past that is a place called Hard Off, which is basically almost like a second-hand electronics store, but they have games up in there too. And everyone talks about this store. It's a little bit smaller store, this one. There's some stores that are like hella big, but this particular one on the second floor had some game stuff. I didn't really buy much besides like a few controls and stuff they had for hella cheap. But you can get some good deals there. I even saw like a Super Famicom for like $5, man. It's crazy. So these are like color coded, kind of like Goodwill. Some of the stuff you'll get for super cheap than the Grail items they have in the case. Anyways, Akihabara, this is the like nerd district of Japan. Like all your gaming related and anime related stuff is going to be in this area. You'll just see like anime characters all over, plastered around all the buildings and stuff. That's how you know, man. So there's quite a bit of game stores over here, but I feel like a lot of the places are overpriced out here because everyone knows about Akihabara and they're all coming over to buy stuff. So you're not going to see too much deals out in this district because hella foreigners are coming over. Check it out. This Vita game is like basically $10, man, for the big box. You can't beat that, man, if you want to bring back some cool collector's items and stuff like that, because nobody wants them out here, man. It's crazy. Like if I had the luggage, I would have brought all that stuff back. But here's the area right here where they got like a bunch of consoles and stuff. I'm talking about like Asian owned, man. Shoot, they keep it all in box when they trade these in. So it's pretty cool, man. Especially some of these like PSP and Vita games, man. I wanted some of these, but no space in the luggage, man. So here's the Super Potato. Y'all seen this on everybody's video. You already know this place is like, man, how do you say it? Like the Whole Foods of fucking game stores. Overpriced as fuck, but they got pretty good shit up in there. You know, it's cool stuff to look at, but nobody trying to pay them prices. You know what I'm saying? Also, you know, we went in January, so it's like hella cold. It's like wintertime. And all the stores, especially this one, man, this store had that heater blasting like on high, dude. It was like 110 degrees up in that motherfucker, man. It was crazy. So I was sweating balls up in there, so I didn't want to stay in there to look. So if I didn't capture that much footage, man, don't blame me, man. They was flushing me out with that heat. It's crazy, man. I don't know how they do that, but a lot of the places out in Japan, they blast that heater to like no tomorrow, man. So I guess, I don't know, they be cold. But like you do see a lot of cool stuff, like I said, in this store. If you want to get like a full detail, just check out like other people's channels, man. They up in there recording stuff. But I saw everything was just crazy in prices, and I'm like, nah, I didn't pick nothing up. It's just kind of like, you could say this is more like a museum, man, because you do see a lot of like cool retro collector stuff up in there and grail items and stuff. But they still do get their customers because, you know, obviously people that are dumb, they pay up for shit because like they don't know no better, and all they do is like watch other people's YouTubes and TikTok videos and stuff, and then that's how they like get motivated to buy stuff, you know. Anyways, they had this upstairs level, which is like an arcade. Somebody broke off the gun to Snake. They had some like older consoles and all that stuff like that, hooked up to like CRT TVs, which is cool to see. But other than that, man, I feel like I can't even say much for this area, man. Like the prices just put me off, man. And I know people, they go in there and buy it, they get their customers and stuff, but like, come on, dude. For me, it's like walking into the Chanel store or something like that and just looking at stuff, man. I just can't do that, man. Looking at a bunch of stuff that I can't afford, man, that's just pissing me off. Anyways, there was this arcade. I think it was either like next door or close by. And this is like a big thing in Asia, especially like Japan and Hong Kong. They all got these like arcade places where they have a bunch of like old school games playing, which is pretty cool. Because people still like playing old school like arcades, shooters, and all that stuff, fighters. But mostly like retro games and stuff. And the best part about these are like sitting arcades. Like out there, they basically just sit down and play. Unlike us, we got to stand and stuff. So after that, called it a night after we got some food. And next day, we're actually going to go head over to Odaiba, where you see that big old Gundam and all that stuff. So along the ways, we stop by Harajuku, and this is like closer to Tokyo Tower, so it was pretty cool to see the tower, but we didn't want to go and actually like go up to the tower because it'd be costing hella much and it's hella gimmicky. So we just got that from afar. Anyways, took the train after that to Odaiba, so that took a little minute, but out there in Odaiba it's kind of like, I don't know, like a San Francisco or something. You got to cross a bridge just to get over there. So it took a little minute to get there, but we finally got to this place over here, which is the Seaside Mall, which this area is kind of like broken up into a few different shopping mall areas you could go to. So there's a lot of shopping to do, a lot of cool stuff to see, a lot of interactive stuff. And at the same time, the Japanese, they like to like mimic like stuff you see, monumental stuff you see from other countries. So you'll see like the Statue of Liberty over here, and then you'll see like this fake ass Manhattan Bridge. So that was pretty cool to see. Anyways, we went to like this Italian place and got some food first. So they got some salad, got some spaghetti bolognese with some Parmesan on there, and this is like a pizza with prosciutto on there. So everything was pretty decent. So like I said, this place is kind of connected to a bunch of other shopping centers slash hotels and all that, because it is a very touristy spot. Here you also see the famous Fuji television building. And then we're heading over to the other shopping center over here. And this shopping center actually had a lot of cool stuff. Like, if you guys are into this series, it's called Doraemon, which is a pretty famous anime up in Japan. Actually, in a lot of Asia, this character is actually super beloved. But yeah, Doraemon is this blue cat. And you could say he's kind of like the Mickey Mouse of Japan. That's how big he is, man. So, but you don't really hear about this character up in the US like that because he's never aired out here. But in Japan, he has a cult following. Here's the Bam Bam Tokyo Game Monster over here. And this store is like kind of, you could call this like an SNK store, because everything they have up in here is like SNK King of Fighters related. So it's pretty cool to see. Like, I'm actually a big fan of King of Fighters. I like it better than Street Fighter. And so like it was cool to see the store that was dedicated to the characters up in there. And man, I wanted some of this stuff, but man, they wanted some good dough for it. Like, check it out. Iori Yagami in a freaking purple, my favorite color, purple plaid. I mean, I would have bought that, man, but they wanted like more than $100 for that, man. So I was like, nah, I didn't really want to buy anything because like they were taxing, man. And some of these jackets were cool because they were reversible too. But like I said, man, too expensive for my blood. But it was cool to see, man. Definitely cool to see a King of Fighters store. So I didn't go to Yokohama and see the other Gundam, but this is pretty much the next best thing. And I didn't stick around for it to actually like move and do its show, but it was pretty cool seeing like a life-size Gundam just standing in front of a building like that, man. That was definitely interesting to look at. And I hear at nighttime it's even better show because, you know, all the lights come on and stuff. But we were on a fixed time. We were actually rushing to do another activity after this, so we had to get up out of there. Anyways, behind that store is a Gundam base, which is like a little mini store that they have Gundam figures for sale and all that stuff. If you know anything about Japan, like, people love building figures. Like, people love collecting figures, models, and all that stuff. That's a big thing out there. So Gundam remains one of like the most beloved figure model toys that you can build out in there in Japan. Similar to how like there's a lot of folks that love airplane models and trains and big old ship models and stuff. So same thing, like you're gonna see like a lot of these, and some of these are up there in price, man. Like the bigger the Gundam, the more intricate the Gundam is, the more they cost. Some of them can go up to like $500 to $1,000, man, just for a Gundam model. It's crazy. And up in here is Daiwa City Tokyo Plaza, which is like a 6-story mall, and it has like a little bit of everything. It even has a Minecraft store. Like, when's the last time you've seen a Minecraft store, man? But you'll find a lot of these like game dedicated stores up in here. Now JOYPOLIS is my Sega. This is where we were intended to go to. Now this VR game I really wanted to play, but you had to purchase like a separate ticket for it, and they were all sold out for the day. And I was like, damn, I was like kind of mad at that, man. But you can't get it all. But they also had their merchandise too, so you can say this kind of like a Sega store at the same time, because you're gonna see a lot of like Sega mascots on there, like Sonic and other characters. I wish they had some Shenmue stuff, but you know, that's not that popular anymore. Anyways, this place you could do a lot of fun stuff. It has like amusement rides up in there, and it's all indoor too. So a lot of like stuff you see at like maybe an amusement park, you're gonna see, plus different type of arcades. And here's kind of like a skate half pipe that you get to ride. It's pretty cool, man, except I can't do none of that stuff, so I get too dizzy. So we went to this House of the Dead Scarlet Dawn attraction. So it's basically the same thing as an arcade game, but the seats actually move around and all that stuff. At the same time, you're competing with a bunch of other people to see who gets the better score, so that's pretty cool at the end. Now this place is, I believe, like 3 or 4 stories high, and each floor has a certain attraction, and the screen right here will actually tell you all the attractions that they have and what time it starts and all that, so it's pretty cool. I suggest going there early because we didn't get to do everything because we went kind of late. And they got these like rides that actually simulates the actual ride, but it's actually just moving with you looking at a screen and all that. So they're pretty cool. They're like what you call like 4D rides or something like that. This is one thing we did was the like Sadako's Curse right here. So it's like the ring, except you know, if you don't speak Japanese, you're not gonna really know what's going on. So it's kind of like gimmicky, but it was alright. They had a Attack on Titan attraction as well. You're kind of like a recruit, and you're over here like trying to survive the Titan attack and all that. So you get these like stickers at the end. But I can't record anything inside because they didn't really allow people to record the actual rides and attractions. But outside on the first floor, you do get a lot of these crane game stuff like you see everywhere. That obviously is like the biggest thing out there. You're going to see it everywhere. Alright, we did it. We did all the attractions over here except for the roller coaster and the 4D stuff. So I said it's a pretty cool experience, judging that it's a bunch of Sega stuff. And check it out. Michael Jackson's video. That is legendary. Everyone up, Yumi Hamasaki, Empress of Pop. Come on, dude. That's great right there. Freddie Prinze Jr. sees all that. It's hella cool. Alright, they're getting ready to close up, so y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all got to get the hell out of here. Later. So that was the whole day spent was at Odaiba. You could literally spend more than a day over there if you want to do everything. So after that, it was time to take the train back over to our hotel to call it a night. So that concludes basically the whole trip that I did gaming related wise. And so I hope you guys enjoyed all that. And if you guys want to check out more videos, make sure you check out the Dine and Dash channel, because that's where you're going to see all the stuff that I did, food related and etc. So go ahead and check out that channel, Dine and Dash, and I will see y'all on the next one. It's your boy, Gackt Cognac. I'll see y'all on the next one. Laters.